Hey guys, this is Zapsy, and while Gordon Hayward has signed with the Boston Celtics, and in the last video I was talking about how the Utah Jazz and the Miami Heat, what reason for him to stay there, and while it appears that the team that I didn't talk about in that video he has gone to, he signed a 4-year $128 million deal with the Boston Celtics, and what it all came down to was basically Brad Stevens. So please guys, smack that like button if you like this video and subscribe for more content from me, and please guys don't forget to turn on post notifications to not miss uploads from me. And basically, let's get into this. So as I have said, Brad Stevens was the main factor in Gordon Hayward's decision, and with Brad Stevens you have him and Gordon Hayward having their relationship all the way to Indiana, where Gordon Hayward attended Butler and he played 2 years there before heading to the NBA. And basically with Gordon Hayward you have them never winning a championship with Butler. From a report I read, it was saying that Brad Stevens had an effect on Gordon Hayward's decision to come into the NBA early, and that Gordon Hayward was feeling that he should probably stay another 2 years in college to try and win a championship with Butler, or just try to continue playing under Brad Stevens. And a few years back, Brad Stevens came into the NBA as a head coach, coaching the Boston Celtics. Gordon Hayward has now came to the Boston Celtics, and as I said, they have their connection back at Butler. Basically, Gordon Hayward wants to win a championship with Brad Stevens. Now, is this going to happen? Well, you have the Golden State Warriors, who are just starting right now. They're starting to get better and better. They just signed Omri Caspi, and I really like this signing, but he won't be a difference maker for them. He'll give them like 5 points a game off the bench. He'll shoot a couple threes, and that'll just pretty much be it. He'll space the floor. You build that guy that you can take out a starter and put him in, and he'll probably just take away pressure from the other guys, and that'll be pretty much it with Omri Caspi. You have them bringing back Stephen Curry, giving him the highest contract in the NBA right now, the Super Max. You have Klay Thompson, who I said like in a couple years will be a free agent. And people were talking about him going to the Lakers because by then, if the Warriors keep winning, he'll have like 4 rings, and he'll just be like, I really don't care about winning rings anymore. I already have 4. I could just chill with these guys. And so that would be a good reason to go with the Lakers. And plus, it's still in California, so you wouldn't be moving too far. And you have them bringing back Kevin Durant, him signing for less money to keep the team together. He'll probably continue to do this just to keep the team together. Maybe they do resign Klay Thompson, but that will mean that Draymond Green will be questionable for the Warriors in the future. And you have them keeping Draymond Green as well. And then you have them bringing back Zaza Pachulia, and then bringing in Jordan Bell off of a sending cash to the team and receiving him. And then you have the Cavs. They're really struggling right now because they're just deciding if they want to trade, deciding if they want to keep some players like Kevin Love, Tristan Thompson. And if you look at the other 2 situations, somebody commented on my Gordon Hayward decision and the Miami Heat offseason video, and it was basically like the Miami Heat is the worst option of the 3. And that is true. I was actually putting Utah number 1, and then Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics tied for 2nd. I really don't know why, but that's how I was putting it. And with the Utah Jazz, honestly, his agent was saying that after his 3 meetings, the Utah Jazz was actually number 1. But it came down to him continuing to talk to people and what they said and their influence on him. So you guys that are angry about the Boston Celtics signing, you can be angry at those people that influence Gordon Hayward to sign here. People that were saying otherwise, people that were saying you shouldn't stay in Utah and you should go to the Boston Celtics. And when Gordon Hayward met with the Miami Heat, that was the first team he actually met with, he was actually pleased with that. He was like, this is somewhere where I could see myself being, and that's pretty good. The Miami Heat are always making the right pitch for players, but yet again, they didn't get the top player in the free agency class yet again. And I really don't know what the Miami Heat can do from here except for focus on the team that they have. Continuing with the Miami Heat thing, and basically last year it was the Kevin Durant. They were trying to get Kevin Durant, and it seems that he made his decision from like day one, or from when the Golden State Warriors were in the playoffs. It seems like he made a decision from there. He had a relationship prior with the Golden State Warriors, and it seems like Draymond Green called him up in the parking lot when they lost the Cleveland Cavaliers in Game 7 of the NBA Finals. And so it seems like Durant coming to free agency already knew what he was going to do, already knew who he was going to sign with. And this wasn't the case with Gordon Hayward. He had to think about which team he was going to go to. The Miami Heat, he was sold with his first meeting with them. The Boston Celtics, they sold him because they had Isaiah Thomas, they had Al Horford, they had the young talent. And I really didn't think the young talent was going to really get to Gordon Hayward, but it really got to him. And he also thought about the tradition. He had Larry Bird, he had Paul Pierce, he had all the great small forwards that played for the Boston Celtics, and Gordon Hayward was sold on that. And a lot of people are talking about the hype of him being the next Larry Bird in Boston, in terms of hype, not in terms of play, because Larry Bird is outstanding, one of the clutchest people I've ever seen. Well, I haven't seen him, but from 2K standpoint, he is one of the clutchest white players that I've ever seen. And Gordon Hayward is bringing in that hype by signing with the Boston Celtics. This is their centerpiece, this is their star, and for the most part, Gordon Hayward will be the second option offensively, and he'll probably just be splitting between offense and defense for the Boston Celtics. And we're just going to have to see what Danny Ainge does with the Boston Celtics and what moves he makes. Because as I try to say in the comment section, I mean, he missed out on Paul George. He missed out on Jimmy Butler during the season. He missed out on DeMarcus Cousins because he then went to the Pelicans, basically Buddy Hield and all those other players. But that trade does be turning out in favor of the Sacramento Kings because they are signing players this offseason. So I guess getting rid of that negativity helped the Sacramento Kings. And basically, I'm going to talk about the Utah Jazz now. And so with the Utah Jazz, you have them bringing in Ricky Rubio to play alongside Gordon Hayward. And now Gordon Hayward isn't there. And this is the same situation that happened with Oklahoma. They lost Kevin Durant. They brought in Victor Oladipo by trading Serge Ibaka to the Magic, bringing in Oladipo and then that draft pick, which they drafted to Sabonis. And now they traded down basically to get Paul George. So the Thunder, that trade really turned out for them. But all these small market teams are losing their top players. The Thunder last year lost Kevin Durant. Jazz now losing Gordon Hayward. Pacers losing Paul George. All these small market teams are losing their top players. And we do have kind of small market teams at the top of the league now, with the Cavs and the Warriors, but we all know that in a few years time, maybe 10 years down the road, those teams will be irrelevant. Their top players will probably be gone as well. So with all this being said, small market teams really have to be careful, because you already know that the Boston Celtics, a team like the Boston Celtics will be on top, a team like the Los Angeles Lakers will be on top, a team like the, let's say, I'm trying to think of another large market team. A team like the New York Knicks will be on top. So teams like these will mainly be on top, even though they are losing. Players will want to eventually play with these teams and put themselves in a better situation, put themselves in a bigger market so they can make more money, to spread their brand, to just come whatever they want to become. And honestly, I think Gordon Hayward didn't see this in Utah. And what he saw in Boston was basically he could continue what he already had with Brad Stevens. He could add to the Boston Celtics tradition, and he could just be a top player for a team that's already going to get to like the Eastern Conference Finals, possibly make the NBA Finals, even though they're going to probably get swept or lose in 5 or 6 games to the Golden State Warriors. But they would probably make the NBA Finals. Sure thing that they make the Eastern Conference Finals now. They can only get better through trades and however their draft picks develop. And so we're going to Hayward. A lot of people are saying that he's a superstar. I really think that he's an all-star, because an all-star is when you're above and beyond for a season or multiple seasons. A superstar is being able to carry a team by yourself, and Gordon Hayward hasn't carried the Utah Jazz. You can say that he led the Utah Jazz this last season, but you can't say he carried the Utah Jazz for these past 5 years that they haven't made the playoffs. So with Rudy Gobert, the Utah Jazz really have to hold on to him. They're really going to have to do something this offseason just to put themselves or keep themselves in the playoff conversation, because Minnesota Timberwolves were on the come up. Even the New Orleans Pelicans, they're in the conversation to make the playoffs. Denver Nuggets, they didn't make the playoffs last year. They're in the conversation now with the signing of Paul Millsap. And it's just a whole bunch of teams that are on the come up. The Oklahoma City Thunder, they're better now. And all these teams are just getting better in the Western Conference. You have Gordon Hayward just going to the East, making things easier for him. That's just pretty much it. This whole Gordon Hayward thing was just a big mess. People didn't even know what was going on. It was like, oh, is he really signing with the Boston Celtics? But it was like, oh, he still hasn't made a decision. And people were just going crazy about this. And really, from the beginning, he made his decision on the Boston Celtics, but he was really trying to think about it, because when it was released, it was just like, is this really the best fit? Is this really the place that I want to play for the next 4 years? And so he was probably at the last minute when like the reporter from ESPN find out and posted it. He was like, hold on, let me rethink about this. And that really pissed off a lot of people, a lot of other free agents. And it's just things like this that you gotta think about when you make a decision. You gotta lose sleep over decisions like these, because it's a change of scenery, it's a change of teammates. You're going to be losing teammates that you've played for like 7 years and playing with different guys in a totally different conference. For the most part, this is Gordon Hayward and his family's decision. Hopefully it turns out the best for him, and hopefully the league will grow because of this decision. Let's just see how this plays out. And so this was just basically me talking, and hopefully you guys have enjoyed this. Please smack that like button and subscribe for more content. And whatever you guys want to see next time, please comment it down below. And without further ado, this is Zapsy, and I'll see you guys in another one.